G'day, my name's Shane Dowling and welcome to my website, kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, the main focus of the website is corruption in the Australian judicial system, corrupt judges and corrupt magistrates. Now, once you start looking at that, it ultimately leads you to corruption in the political system and the law enforcement system, whether that be the police or the Director of Public Prosecutions, who fail to act on the corruption in the judicial system. Now, there's two key areas that form the foundation of the corruption in the Australian judicial system. That's the appointment process and also the complaints process. The appointment process in Australia is that the Attorney General of the day, whether that be a Liberal Party or the Labor Party, depending on who's in power, they appoint their own boys and girls, their own friends as judges and magistrates. Now, the problem with that is that the people who are getting appointed know fully well they're only getting appointed because of their political connections or they're calling in the favours. Now, that ultimately leads to people who are judges and magistrates who are prepared to return those favours, whether it be to the people who appointed them in the first place or to their own friends. Now, the complaints process, there is none, federally at least. One state has a body set up to investigate complaints, but that's only for the state judges and magistrates. Federally, there's absolutely nothing, and the rest of the states have nothing as well. So you have a situation where if you want to make a complaint against a judge or magistrate, you can go to the Chief Justice of that court and they don't want to know about it. You can go to the Attorney General's department and they don't want to know about it. The Attorney General obviously doesn't want to know about it because they've been up to their neck in appointing these judges and magistrates. And they start looking at the corruption in the judicial system, and ultimately it leads back to the people who appointed them in the first place. You start asking very serious questions about that. So you've got a situation where they're basically untouchable, or they believe they are. There's a perception in I suppose globally that judges are very powerful people. Well, they are. If you're in court and they're obviously deciding your case, they can be very powerful people. But if you've got evidence of criminal conduct by the judges or magistrates, they're very, very weak. There's nothing they can do. They just got to stick their head in the sand and hope like hell that nothing's ever done about it. And so that's what this website is about, is collating all that corruption. So if you look at it individually, any individual case, you might be able to come up with some excuses why it's happening. But if you look at all the cases and you pull them together, it starts to tell a very disturbing story about the Australian judicial system. And that's what we're going to be doing on this website. We're going to collate all those stories so you can come on and have a look at them. And you can see just a continual pattern of dodgy appointments, people who should have never been appointed in the first place. Dodgy conduct by judges, just clear and blatant criminal conduct, and hopefully something will eventually be done about it. We ultimately need a Royal Commission in Australia. There's a perception in Australia that there is no corruption in the judiciary, yet in every other country, at least Western world, Western society, there is clear and open admission that there's corruption there. Now, Australia is basically, dragging the chain on this, and something needs to be done. Now, I'll just give you a quick overview of the website. That's it there. I'm obviously just started the website. There's the About section there, and obviously my book section. I've written a book on corruption in the judiciary. Love letters from the bartable.com is a website I've set up to give you further information about the book, and obviously the title is Love Letters from the Bar Table. And also on the right hand side here, as I gradually put more and more posts, you'll be able to click on the various categories and bring up those posts. You can also there go down here and you can click on archive, so you can click on January and you can see what posts went up in January. I'm going to keep it fairly basic so the average person can go on there and not have too much trouble finding the posts. Now, I'll also be trying to do a video post overview, so when I put a post up there in the written format, I'll try and do a video overview of it, so you can click on the video, watch the video, gives you a broad overview of the post. There'll be links on the post as well to the relevant stories that I'm quoting from, etc. Now, I hope you let your friends and that know about this site. I think it'll be very educational, very informative, and if you could visit my website for my book, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the site.